What's up, guys? Derek here, back for another VOD review. And look, I've been talking about this a good bit. The Esports World Cup closed qualifiers are tomorrow, so I wanted to watch some games from the teams that are actually scrimming. This is why, if you go to Twitch, nobody's live right now. Soju isn't live, Setsuko isn't live. So many people are not streaming because they are prepping for this tournament because it is hugely influential. This is going to decide who's going to get to play in the Esports World Cup that has like a $500,000 prize pool or something. So we have a NA versus EU scrim here. I wanted to pull up the teams because so the EU team is Experion, Jetasaur, Opale, and Tartman. One of them, French Setsuko and French Dish Soap are two of them. And then the NA team that we have here, this is the Goobums, Omni, Broccoli, and Ashmu team. So it's a pretty the NA team is pretty interesting. Ashmu's somebody who did really well at Vegas and then like basically retired from TFT this set, but I think he's back because he gets so many points from the fact that he did so well in Vegas for this tournament, and part of it is like figuring out who has the most points, deciding who you want to play with, because the people with more points are more desirable to play with because that helps you qualify, and you need maybe a certain number of points to qualify. I don't know 100% how the whole thing works. I know the teams with the most points auto-qualified. That's why like Dish Soap's team is auto-qualified. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch some more of these 4v4 scrims, and I really want to watch the games tomorrow and see, because those games tomorrow are literally going to be, Setsuko team versus somebody else's team. They're going to play best of 3, which is kind of funny. So it just depends on, I guess, whose team has more points and who wins that game points wise, and then you go into the next one. And after that, we're going to know some of the teams that are in the winners bracket and losers bracket. It is double elimination. So, like if somebody Gigolo rolls the first few games, it's not the end of the world, but the difference between being winners bracket and losers bracket matters a lot in a tournament like this, where like it's the stakes are so high. So talking about this game, Frodan's just jumping around all of these. Oh yes, the other thing to say is, of course, we're watching Frodan's a VOD from Frodan's stream. Oh, look at this. There's a little message from Broccoli. Just want to say I'm getting back in the set for Esports World Cup qualifier and trying to learn fast. TFT Academy is the best. Wow. Okay, I did not know. I mean, that's just shout out to TFT Academy. I mean, it's a very good site. But we're watching Frodan stream because, like I said, none of these players are streaming. So Frodan has literally gone into spectate and watched these players, and you could theoretically do the same. The only issue is then it would be on 1x speed. Now I want to watch on 2x speed, so I'll pull up Frodan's stream. Went to the VOD, we got it on 2x speed, and now we can watch all these games. So I know we had a duelist player, we had a Dryad +1 player. This person also looks like they're angling into Faded, which has become so much more contested and so much more played these days after the buff to Syndra this patch. Also the nerf to Duelist means that like the Syndra comp can really completely farm that comp. French Setsuko here, just going for a full loss streak with this what doesn't kill you augment to get an extra component, which he will get now after this loss, because I mean, surely he's 4 loss here. And yeah, I mean, so far it looks like a lot of the EU players are loss streaking, and NA players mostly a little bit higher. Ooh, the Diana treasure armor here with triple item. I mean, this is you have 2 more rerolls. Would you guys actually roll this in this position? Because Redemption and Adaptive are pretty good. The problem is you have to take a red buff with already slamming a Morello. I might risk it for the biscuit and roll this, but I know that's it feels so bad to do. Yeah, he's just gonna Goobums is gonna have to take that. He doesn't want. It's really hard to greed in things like this where you only have 2 rolls there. And yeah, at the end of the day, having a second heal cut item isn't the end of the world. So yeah, pretty reasonable there from Goobums. And Adaptive and Redemption are 2 fantastic tank items. So those portals I think are actually really cool because of the decision making that they make you have to do. So many people have yapped about portals this set. Also, by the way, Broccoli is a Tristana 2 there, which is pretty nice. But yeah, so much yap about portals in this set, but I think portals like that are really cool, that give you the ability to make decisions and completely change your game. Perhaps if Goobums didn't take this and he'd rolled twice more here, he would have been in a horrible spot. Also, Exalted wise here, it looked like it's 2 cost. Oh, Frodan has it down there. I don't know if that's actually correct. but it looked like there was a bunch of 2 costs in the Exalted, so we'll potentially revisit that when we go back to the Exalted board. We are jumping all around because this is a 4v4, and so we want to see what's happening on everybody's board. So, you know, we're just gonna let Frodan do the work of jumping around on the boards, and I'll be happy with that. Item-wise here, French Setsuko making some of the items here. Also, like I said, I don't know, French Setsuko is one of the 2 EU players that isn't named here. It is either Jetasaur or Opale or Opale, I'm not sure. Also, my god, fine vintage here? How many components? I think he had maybe 8 completed items, maybe 7, but fine vintage there seems absolutely insane. The only hard part is that he's already on a big loss streak, so he needs a little bit of time to get to those support items, but my god, the Janna artifact, or not artifact, but the Janna extra items encounter, plus the fact that he has an extra component from what doesn't kill you, he actually is going to have like the most insane fine vintage value of all time, as long as he doesn't die, because 61 HP here, he's probably going to take 4 losses if he reforges all these, so he might just die. This will be a fun game to see how he does with that crazy fine vintage setup here. Yeah, this guy, okay, I'm looking again at the Exalted just because I wanted to see, but I don't think it's that one. We get some extra rerolls here, so everyone's going to spike their board. This is also pretty bad news, I would say, for French Setsuko, because, I mean, at least he gets to pick up an okay board here, but yeah, like I said, 8 completed items. Look at that bench, holy. He is going to build his Lee Sin items here, which I think makes perfect sense. You really cannot wait for 8 items to be reforged and live to tell the tale. So yeah, he's going to make those items onto Yona. He's even going to win this fight against, I think this is this is Ashamu, I believe, because that's the only name that I don't really like recognize here, and the French names I think are EU players, but I don't know, it could be completely trolled, but I believe Hello123 is Ashmu. But yeah, I mean, crazy setup there. And also, I mean, his Lee items look fantastic. They were honestly handpicked in that position. I mean, he did have so many components, so it makes sense that he could basically take whatever he wanted. I really like that augment. Oh, we're jumping past it already, but the Sage augment that gives you XP. I mean, I just love playing around Zyra in the early game. It'll be interesting to see what they pivot into. And back on board with Broccoli. I'm honestly surprised Broccoli is this low with the fact that a 3-item Trisu this early, but I guess it just shows you the tempo of this lobby. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna lose another fight here. Just he's 6 duelists, Tristu, and he's on a 2-loss streak. This lobby is so high tempo just because of the fact that we got all of these extra components, so many people have stuff itemized, and we got all these free rerolls. Like this is a crazy lobby actually, just because of the fact that we got all of these resources from the encounters, and it's not really, we haven't really got any gold inflows into the game. It's really just items and ooh, what is this? Play 1 carry with Irelia. He's looking at the TFT Academy page there. I guess he's talking about what he's thinking about Triss 3 less than or greater than Irelia 1. Okay, I don't know what Frodan's yapping about here, but maybe he's talking about fine vintage. I think you take Randuin's here probably. Randuin's, Moonstone. Like another Moonstone is really good. Ooh, he took Knight's Vow over second Moonstone. That is crazy to me. I don't agree with that at all. I think that's just wrong. He had a second Moonstone there. Locket. And then your last one is another Moonstone, I guess. I'm not crazy, right? I'm pretty sure he took a Knight's Vow over Moonstone there, which seems like absolute insanity there. He could be triple Moonstone Randuin's here, which seems just like the freest, most insane tanky frontline of all time. But I mean, still, he gets the Knight's Vow here. It's just the Omnivamp is fine, but yeah, I just don't think it's that necessary. He also went to 8, and he is sending it 0 here to try to find a Lee Sin and cannot find one. That is, he might end up in the place that you never want to end up in when you are playing Duelist, which is the Lee Sin jail. If you can't find Lee Sin when you're playing this comp, you're in a really bad spot. I'm pretty surprised he rolled it to 0 as well. I know I would certainly roll a 10 here to try to find a Lee Sin. But I mean, you have a Yone too that you're item holding. Yeah, I can't really agree with how that player's played their game so far, but you know, who's to say, I guess. I mean, they're an EU player, so I'm to say. No, okay. Lucky Gloves here out of, I'm not sure who that was, but it was their only, that was another augment choice that I thought was kind of interesting. I'm going to pretend that was an EU player because I also sort of disagreed with that augment there. But hey, let's look at some NA players. We got Ashmu here. Oh yeah, he did, okay, so it is a bunch of 2 costs in this Exalted, which is pretty interesting for the 2 healthy player. He can consider potentially playing Zyra, Janna, even Gnar as well. But yeah, I mean, this Jeweled Lotus seems really, really nice. He's just trying to play into Sages, it looks like. Getting a little bit low there, though. French Dish Soap, also Jeweled Lotus, it looks like. Yeah, a few Jeweled Lotuses in this lobby. But yeah, I feel like we got a roll here, and yeah, okay, I think this is really good. He decides to pop the items off, which I think is really smart, though. No Morello onto the Morgana is kind of strange. I feel like, I guess he didn't have the choice of, like, which items, like, being able to pop off whatever. I think, in my opinion, I would have tried to pop off an item for Morello there. Yeah, was he not? I guess he wasn't able to do that. The Morello was already on. I don't know. Let's actually. It's so hard to go back on this, but I kind of want to go back and look at that item situation one more time, because that was actually like really, really consequential. And yeah, could change everything this game. Okay, let's look at this item. So we already had. Oh, okay, yeah. So we had to choose. Do we want these 3 items on Morgana, or do we want these 3 items onto Morgana? And he opts to move them. I mean, the thing is, Adaptive Helm and Deathcap are also like completely solid items on Silas. The thing is, you'd prefer the Nashers here. I think I would have just kept the items on Morgana. It's a really interesting idea, though, here, like, to try to figure out what you would prefer here. Because Blue Buff is pretty good on Silas, but the problem is now our Morgana holder is, like, garbage. Like, we have to put Morello on, like, a Loon or something, which feels terrible. And then the Gwinsu as well is just not an item that you really want on anyone. I mean, yeah, you don't want it on anyone. Morgana, like, worst case scenario, you throw it onto her, but yeah. Looks like French Setsuko did pick up a Lee Sin there, so good for him at 31 HP. He is very low. A really, really juicy carousel here. There's a Zyra Khan. I guess there's a way if you really care for that. But yeah, who got Tardman? Got Zyra Khan. I'm not sure what his board is because we're jumping around so much. Oh, okay, he's faded. So it looks like he just took it for the rod. He doesn't actually care about the Zyra Khan. So, I mean, that's chill, I guess. Checking out Experion's board here. He's playing at Kaisa. Oh, this board. I was watching this VOD earlier. This board is pretty sick. The Kaisa Lilia board. Just the 2 trick shot, the 3 mythic using. He is using Bard here because it bridges the trick shot and mythic really well. It's a really cool board. And then 4 Bruiser using Galio also allows you to fit in Story Weaver here. So with the Irelia at the end. So I love that board. I want to see him top 4 because I think that board is just so cool. But I don't know. It's definitely very out of meta, but that is the kind of board you could see being good. You know, all the synergies fit together. The duo carries 4 costs. It has a good front line. And it's just not, that type of comp has not been good this set because of the strength of the, like, the 4 traits, the more vertical traits. You want to play like 4 trick shot, not 2 trick shot usually. So I don't know. I'm really hyped to see a board like that perform. Hopefully. Broccoli also in the danger zone here. 13 HP, scary for NA. I was talking about how low he was this game, and he just got lower. He doesn't have a Lee Sin yet. This is the super, super danger zone for Broccoli. Yeah, no Lee Sins. He is in super Lee Sin jail, and that's what happens sometimes when you play a duelist comp and you are contested. There's so many people trying to angle for it this game. So you got to just send it to 0 here. Try to pick up a Lee Sin. There's an Irelia as well. We got to move items over to the Irelia, get the Lee Sin in as well. We can play a duelist here. Yeah, you just have to get over to a duelist in. He doesn't have it in here, right? He needs to fit Yasuo, and you can't play all of these. You can't play 3 extra units, right? You got to cut one of these for Yasuo. You have to. You even have remover, so you can move these off of. Well, you probably have to remove her. Oh, that's not good. He can't. I mean, he has to. How is he going to get the items over? Because he needs to sell one of these guys. Trist, or he needs to find a Trist or a Kiana. Oh, there's an extra Lee Sin, but he needs to find one of them. So, I mean, I guess what you do is you leave the items on Kiana for now, and then you move the Trist items over. Yeah, that has to be it. And hopefully this board's enough. You could also make a couple of Lee Sin items here, but this fight looks really, really scary. We are fighting a Cinder 1, so maybe. No, yeah, he's just barely going to lose this fight. That's so, so sad. But, I mean, you need to get items over to the Irelia there right at the end. Rough that he can't. Yeah, it was a tough spot because, you know, like, he wanted to roll down and find either a Trist or a Kiana and then use the remover to move the other items over. But you kind of had to send it. Also, Omni there was holding on to 2 Lee Sins. Hopefully he was not doing that the fight before this, but he probably did it after Broccoli died. But it is kind of hilarious to imagine if he was holding them and just denying his own teammate. But yeah, I mean, this board, Experion 20 HP. His front line looks a little bit not great. Oh, it looks like this really, really cool board is probably aiming for a bot 4 here. It's crazy because the board looks so good, right? You have everything that you could ever want, but it's really just, it's not enough in the face of all of these really, really strong, more meta type comps. Speaking of meta, this is a pretty off meta comp from Ashmu here. He decided to play something more kind of wild. It's a 4 Invoker Morgana setup, fitting in Exalted here with, what are his Exalted units? It's Janna, it's probably Zyra and like Sylas, I would have to imagine. Maybe, I don't think he's fitting anything else in here. But yeah, that's a really, really cool board. Experion does end up going 7th with that really creative board, which is so sad. But hey, it's not the end of the world, I guess. I mean, it's not an 8th. It's certainly not an 8th. But yeah, I mean, it looks like he cooked too close to the sun. Just put together a board that, in the end of the day, was not that good. Super big hits here for French Setsuko, the Lee Sin 2 and the Wukong 2. Maybe that can be enough to stabilize him to actually, you know, get to a top 4. We'll see. So far, it's looking pretty good for NA. Goobums in 1st, Amdi in 4th, and Ashmu in 2nd. The only sad part is Broccoli went 8th. But if these guys can maintain their positions, it looks like a potential win for Team NA. You have to start doing math once you get to this point. I think, like, I don't know, I'm considering co-streaming some of these games. I think if I do, I'll like make a little calculator to put scores into, just so I can know, because like it gets like a little bit weird, like looking at the math. Okay, Broccoli is 1 point, and then Experion is 2 points for his team, and then like, okay, like if Tartman went 6th here, then like what does French Setsuko and French Dish Soap have to go for them to win this lobby? But oh, I'm talking about them winning this lobby. They're fighting each other, which is really, really rough. The team kill there, where one of the French players, I think that was French Dish Soap, ends up killing Tartman there, so sending him 6th. It looks like that board, that was French Setsuko, yeah. This board, I would think this board would be insane. I'm honestly surprised he's as low as he is with everything 2-starred. It did take him a really, really long time to finally send to. It was so contested, this lobby. You want an Irelia item here. He's just going to go for BT, looks like. Yeah, I mean, nothing too amazing there. So he's going to opt to BT the Volibear, just because he just can't stand to put a bad item onto Irelia, which, I mean, kind of fair. You probably just throw a bad item onto Irelia, even like BT Irelia, not the end of the world, I guess. But hey, in any case, I really love this board. Look at this board go, man. I love this board I keep like searching in my head for Ashmu because his name is not on the screen, and my brain has to look it up every time. But that board from Ashmu, coasting to a top 4, maybe even top 3, with just 4 Invoker plus Morgana. It's just a very non-standard board, but I mean, it's doing quite well. French Setsuko, French Dish Soap here, very low. If they ever fight each other, they're guaranteeing one of them is going to die. So, man, now that I think about it, yeah, like, saving HP, preserving HP is so big in this format because you can't really, at this point in the game, int for your teammates. You have to get right to the end, and then you can think about inting for your teammates. And, like, the fact that one of these players is guaranteed going bot 4, look, they fight each other, French Dish Soap has to go bot 4. It's really, really interesting that you kind of have to play that out. I think with this loss, I mean, looking at this, the fact that NA is 1, 2, 3, 8, I think with this loss, NA must be guaranteed winning this scrimmage here, because yeah, even if they go 1, 2, 4, I guess maybe if Francesco goes first. Oh, he's looking at the stats, he's FFing. He's saying there's no way that we can win this. We're just gonna FF and go to the next game. And hey, that's how this tournament might go. A little anticlimactic, but we got to see a lot of cool fights. We got to see a lot of cool boards, and also some eliminated. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might be co-streaming tomorrow. I think I'm gonna try to co-stream the games tomorrow, just spectating all these games, because I think they're gonna be really, really fun to watch. So tune into that on my Twitch or on my YouTube, I guess, because you're here. Thanks for watching. Last second shoutouts. Go do my Rush Royale things, the goals. If you do this, you guys get entered into, and you screenshot that you did it, you guys get entered into a free coaching session giveaway on my Discord. I'm gonna leave it up one more time for the QR code to come up. You gotta scan it on your phone, play it on your phone, but you know, you play a mobile game, screenshot that, put in my Discord, and you might run a free coaching session. So it's kind of a win-win. So go do that. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.